crying for a woman and crying for a man are two completely different things.
Mm-hmm.
When a man is crying, it's a like I said, y'all are very emotional creatures. Men are very logical. So when we're crying, it's because we think the world is ending, like the worst thing is going on, like, and it's not true though.
Yeah.
The true logical answer, and our homeboys would be able to tell us to it in an instant, be like, "Hey, bro, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we're fine," you know. And like, but so that logic is what we really need. We don't need somebody sitting there telling us that we can cry over a scraped knee, because that's not what
Well,
we're meant to
yeah,
do.
like
Um,
crying over your
well, like I
scrape
said,
knee.
over a parent dying or something, like there's certain things where I totally think it's okay for a guy to cry, like 1,000%. But most problems that a guy has, financial issues, business issues, stuff like that, you should be able to go to a guy to help you with it, or you should be able to solve the problem. When a woman is sad, it's usually for like I said, y'all want to talk about it. You know, like a guy, there's action behind it. There's something that we need to go and do to fix what's hurting us.
Yeah.
And like, if you're sitting there whining about it instead of stepping up to action, that's a problem as a man. Like, like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that there's a lot of emotional guys shooting up schools, beating their wives, doing all this stuff, I would totally agree with you. But when we tell guys to be emotional, they hit their women, they shoot up schools, they do a lot of, like, we got to remember, we are big, strong, masculine
why do you think
men,
that is?
animals.
Because nobody ever talked
Because we're
about
mostly
it.
animals. We want to always sit here and act like we're fucking hyperhumans with this amazing brain and we're intelligent and all stuff. We're not. At the end of the day, if we look at statistics, if we look how humans really are, evolutionary biology for the last 300 years, we're fucking pretty close to chimpanzees still, 99% by DNA standards. So like, we're not that different. We have very animalistic minds when it comes to sex, when it comes to anger, happiness, sadness. We don't like, that's why philosophy is such a big deal. That's why we still read about philosophers from 2,000, 3,000 years ago, because we weren't, like, we like to think that we're so smart, but we're not. And if anything, iPhones, the internet, all this social media has proved that we're more dumb and animalistic than we ever thought we were. Like, it's proof, because we can see it every day. We can jump on World Star and see fights every day.
Yeah.
We can see shootings every day. How much of animals we are. Like, this is the world that we live in. And as shit gets worse, we're gonna see more of us acting like animals, especially with sex. Like, y'all know it. Like, we're straight fucking animals, fucking like we were 250,000 years ago. Right now, everybody's fucking everybody and shit. You know.
I most definitely see where you're coming from when it's like a guy shouldn't be that in touch with his emotions versus like still being in touch with your emotions, because I've had like guys cry to me and that seems like those are always like the worst guys. Like, oh my gosh, don't leave me. Oh my god. I'm like, those are usually the worst ones that are usually gonna like cheat.
And it's usually because they got a lot of wrong going on in their life other than that. Like, if he's crying, if he's having to express that emotion to you, if he feels that low compared to you, like begging and stuff, he does no options. He has no value in himself. He doesn't see any value in himself.
Right.
And you want to be with the guy who values himself and like wouldn't ever put himself that down far and like to where he's begging for something. You know what I'm saying?
I got a point to make too.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we want to be a little more clear about the message as far as from the ladies' expectations. It's not that you want a man to be emotional. You want a man that's in control of his emotions. There's a difference.
True.
And then as well, shout out to the It's Complicated channel. And the thing with talking about a man with emotions, why would you want an emotional man, or why would a man want to be emotional when his emotions are the last things that's considered in an event of an argument?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, like y'all gotta understand, our emotions get disregarded and pushed to the side really quick whenever shit does get bad, and like it instantly, whatever the women's feeling, whatever the woman's going through, and like whatever we're going through, it doesn't fucking matter. If you really put yourself in those situations when you've been in those bad fights.
Yeah, and shout out to also a Black Man Unfiltered, because he makes a very good point on our show where he talks about, you have one time to fuck up a man's trust whenever it comes to him being vulnerable and expressing his emotions to you. The one time he does it, and if you throw it back in his face, or you go and tell somebody else in an event that you're upset, that's gonna really tank. That's gonna tank the relationship forever.
He'll never be vulnerable with you again. He never will be.
So
that's what happens most of the time. Is guys are vulnerable one time and they learn, I'm never doing this shit again, because it got thrown back in my shit. Did you have something to say? No. Would you rather have a guy who buys his time back or works 60 hours a week? The one who bought his time back makes $1 million a year. The one who works 60 hours makes $2 million a year, but he works double the time. So you could be with a guy who makes $1 million a year, but he only works 30 hours a week. He spends a lot of time with family and with you. Or the guy who works 60 hours, but he makes double. He makes $2 million a year. Obviously, 1 million, 2 million isn't that different. Either way, you're rich. So would y'all rather be with the guy that's a little bit more richer, but he loses 60 hours of his week, or the guy who's a little less but still rich, but he buys his time back more? He values his time more. Start with you.
My love language is quality time, so I'm gonna go with the first guy.
You want the guy with the 30 hours job? Okay.
Yeah, I'm most definitely going with
the 30.
Yeah, I'm most definitely.
I think this is a problem today with hustle culture. People will be fucking all about thinking that waking up at 5 a.m. and like this, I don't know, hustle culture is like ruining reality in my eyes. Like people thinking that all this shit, and it's like the only reason to make money is to buy your time back. That's the only reason. There's no like anybody who thinks that's to like go and make more money. I think it's like almost psychopathic. Who is the prize, men or women? We'll start with you on this one. I know this is a hard one.
I feel like I'm a woman's
prize. Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like it's a lot of like emotion and like the feminine energy and everything that comes with a woman. That
y'all can make babies.
Yeah,
you're like, yeah, we the prize. Yeah, we the prize. Yeah. What about you, men and women prize?
I think I guess I'm gonna agree and say that a woman is the prize, just because we bring life into this world.
Yeah,
but I think it's important for both people in the relationship to view themselves as a prize coming into it.
Oh yeah, have that confidence, kind of.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I heavily disagree with both y'all, man. The man is the prize. As a man here, I gotta say it. The man is the prize. Wow. But hear me out. If we had two islands, okay, and one island had 100 women on it, one island had 100 men on it. The island with the 100 men has one woman, and the island with the 100 women has one man. Which one is going to repopulate faster and create a society faster?
The island with one man, because
he
can get.
So technically, does man create more life than women do?
Oh, for sure, but that's a whole like birth control conversation too.
No. So if you look at it that way, though, a man creates way more life than women. Now, do y'all sacrifice your body for it, and are y'all literally able to create life? Yes, I completely agree. That is true. But technically, a man can create more life. But like, how valuable does the guy have to be able to do something like that? Very valuable. He has to be a sultan or something, like and Alexander the Great level, to be able to do something like that. But still, it is cool to like look at it that way and see that. Sometimes like, and here's the thing: if y'all want to get married, if you want a relationship, the women are gatekeepers to sex, but men are gatekeepers to relationships, especially the valuable men. And so like, if y'all want a relationship, or if you want the ring on your finger, the man's the valuable thing, because y'all kind of got to work to get that. Like unless, don't get me wrong, there's lots of simps out here. You got millions of simps out here that will do that shit real quick, but it might not be the guy that you want. And he might not be attractive, whatever it is, it might not be genuine. So it's just, that's what you got. Like, that's why I think, honestly, the men are the prize. And I think a lot of shit's fucked up today because, no offense, women are the prize. Like, I really do think that women are a prize. But if we have this mentality that women are more of a prize than men, then doesn't that kind of like cause the equation to fuck up and make it to where like no women are chasing, when you kind of do need to chase the really good guys? And I'm not saying that y'all should be like sitting there chasing the guy all the time, but I think if he shows he's attracted to you, I think that you should do something back. Like he already put the foot in the door and opened it. It's like you need to pull him inside, I guess, Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you, and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.